Hello and good morning. Welcome to our Friday How is the Market episode. Today I have Teresa Cowart from Savannah, Georgia. She is doing real estate. She lives there for a long time. And I like to introduce with you guys Teresa, and she is going to talk to you about the insight of Savannah, the inside story, the lifestyle, the pricing, the housing update, anything. If you want, if you have any question, you can go ahead and comment it, and then we'll definitely catch up with you guys with those answers. We are here to help you, give you more insight about Savannah, Georgia. Teresa, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm excited.
Thanks. So let's start with this. I know you for a few years through Tom Ferry coaching, and I know you're a rock star and you have a big team and you're serving the community, for a long time and from your heart. You are really true a community server through real estate, through other stuff. You do a lot of, help other event in the community also to help them. So let's talk about your business first. How long you are in Savannah, Georgia? What about your team and the business a little bit?
Okay. Well, I got licensed in 2005, which was, not the best time in the whole world to leave corporate America and go into real estate, but it worked for me. And I've been doing it ever since. I started my team about 2010 out of necessity. Basically, I was doing so much volume by myself with a part-time assistant that I wasn't spending much time with my kids or didn't have a great quality of life. So ended up getting a buyer's agent and then another and then another. And then we just kept adding. And so here we are today. And today we have 24 agents, an ISA department. We have marketing on staff. We have, transaction coordinators. We have a rental department. So we have grown through necessity. Pretty much everything that we've added along the way has been because there was a need or it made sense to do that. So that's kind of where we are now. We've come a long way. We've learned a lot along the way. Very thankful for all my friends in real estate that have helped me not have to recreate the wheel every single time and shared what they're doing in their markets. But yeah, we've done great. We're the #1 team in the area and have been for several years, and #2 in the state typically. So yeah, we're very, very blessed. Have a great team, great culture.
That's perfect. I know how hard you work to keep this team together, and building a team of 24 with great culture is just a lot of hard work involved. Also, you're with REMAX in Savannah, so that's good.
That's right. Yeah.
So you get that brand power.
Yeah, been with them since day one.
So that's good. Yeah. Now, Teresa, let me ask you something about the housing in general. What's going on in Savannah, Georgia, and the surrounding area?
Right. Well, we were essential all year. So when COVID really hit us in 2019, and I realized that, oh gosh, this is not going to go away. Like, I'm always a Pollyanna thinking, oh, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. And I was like, okay. So I actually came back from a cruise on like November 13th, I think is when we were the last boat in Miami. And was very thankful to get back on shore and get back to Georgia. And when I got back, I realized I'd been gone for a week and the world had changed a lot since I had left, and lots of things were going on locally as well as nationally. And so we started implementing everything that we could do virtually and just kind of started changing the way that we did business really quick. We were fortunate in that we already did a lot of those things. We just put it on steroids. And also fortunate that I'm a huge saver. So I was able to tell my team, don't worry about it. I got you. Like if we have to shut down for a little while, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep you solvent, but we're going to be fine. And so we were, and we've had actually the best year ever in 2020. We exceeded our goal, which was 650 homes. We exceeded it by 654 because they like to keep me on the edge of my seat till the last day of the year.
Yeah.
And $150 million in real estate. So it was a really good year. And we didn't have 24 all year, obviously, because we had moms who couldn't work because of school and kids being out of school. And we had, a couple people that had compromised immune systems, and they really couldn't do much. So we did it kind of with a skeleton crew. So I give them every bit of the credit. Like, they worked and they kept the right headset and they did the right thing. And in the middle of that, we delivered food, we delivered medicine, we delivered whatever we could to people who couldn't get out. And we helped any way we could in our community as well, just trying to, do the right thing. So like I said, I'm very blessed to have a team that has a great heart. So,
Teresa, that's, thank you for sharing that, because we know when we, because through our ecosystem, we know each other's, business life, the community involvement and all the stuff. But a lot of people outside, they don't know that, especially someone like us in the real estate business is more than the real estate, for example, it's just not to help a family to get their first home, or an investor, building up their portfolio. And so it's more than that. We are so involved with the community and we love it. It's not that, nothing about bragging or something. Like, more we grow and we love to be with the community, because real estate is a business, we are so involved with people's life, people's, family, and I love it and I respect it so much. Like, being a realtor or being in real estate, we talk to people sitting at their dining table, what other business you have that opportunity, like, you talking their personal life, we taking care, of them, or you solving their problem. Like, great opportunity. We are blessed,
yes, I agree with you. And I tell people now that, I worked really hard my whole life to make money, send the kids to college, be solvent, da 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 da. And then you get to this point in your life, and it's not about, when you die and people are at your funeral, do you want them to say, oh my gosh, she was such an amazing realtor? No. You want them to think about the good things that you did in your community and how you helped, other people. Whether you had it on social media or not, who cares? You just did it because it was the right thing to do. And a lot of people don't know half of what we do. I keep a lot of the stuff that I do down low. Like, it's out of respect for the person that I'm helping. They don't want it all over social media, and neither do I. So if I can help somebody, and, I am way more blessed when I'm helping people than they are. So, we do what we can, and, you want to be great role models for your kids and for other kids in the community, and, and show them that you can work your butt off. You can do great things. You can make a lot of money. You can have a great life. Like, you just have to want that.
And then also the second thing, Teresa, I remember, like, when the COVID just hit publicly in mid-March last year. And one of the things, you just say that keeping the team members together, having the high mindset, or that mindset to face the challenge, doesn't matter whatever challenge we get. And you did a great job with that. So that's another great thing you did. And I know it was not easy, but we did it.
That's right.
That mindset up, that's a great job.
And you don't get that overnight. Like, that's a work in progress. Like, you have to do that every single day. You have to talk that talk and walk that walk every single day. And I tell people every time when they come, and think they want to be part of our team, I'm like, okay, culture is number one for us. And I just need you to know that I am a shit damn hell girl. And you will hear me say that in this office at any given time. It's not directed at anybody. It's just usually because I'm flabbergasted about something. I said, but the other thing is, I can teach you how to sell real estate, but I can't teach you how to have the right heart. You got to come with that. Like, you just have to have that. And if you're in this for any reason other than the right reason, then you're probably not going to be a good fit for my team.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things, like, when COVID hit, and again, we are also so blessed. My wife, she's the broker. Definitely, I had a lot of involvement with the team together, and she did also. Not only our realtors or our office staff, we together, she and I, we did the other business people, the neighborhood, whoever we talk to, we try
Mm-hmm.
to encourage, try to open up the resources for each other. So definitely,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen in one day. Another thanks to 5 a.m. call. Our
Right.
5 a.m. call is
Yeah. Yep. And I haven't been on our 5 a.m. call for a while because my team decided in the fall when we were doing our annual planning sessions and reviews that they wanted to have their own 5 a.m. call. They
oh
wanted a Zoom.
yeah.
So it's not mandatory. Not everybody has to do it. You don't even have to do it every day. If you miss a day, it's okay. Different team members are in charge of leading it that day, and it's supposed to last no more than 15 minutes, and it starts promptly at 5:01. So we've done it. We did it back in the fall because somebody wanted that extra accountability for 30 days, and then they loved it so much they wanted to start it back on January 1. So we did. And so we're doing it together every day at 5 a.m. and I mean,
Wow.
it's good. And probably there's typically between 15 and 20 people on it every morning. So that's my mama brag that I didn't make you get up at 5 a.m., but you're here and you're awake and it's those little things that you do in your life that make a huge difference. You just got to build on those steps. Like I tell everybody, like my kids were competition cheerleaders. Not one of them started out doing the fanciest trick that there was. They all started with basic cartwheel, and then 12 years later, and probably 50,000 per kid, they could do all those fancy things. But it didn't happen overnight. It took time, and you build on your skills, and you build on your mindset, and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's. I'm so happy to know that. That's great, actually. Okay, so let's talk about what do you see in the real estate market in Savannah? Like what's going on with the sellers, what's going on with the buyers? What do you see in general?
Well, it has been probably the craziest time in my career. We've never typically been a seller's market. Like we have always been pretty steady and pretty stable. And we have a lot of industry in the area, and we have Georgia Ports right here. And we also have Gulfstream, and they're a huge employer in the town, and the hospitals, of course. And then we also have an Army base in Savannah, and Army Airfield is what they call it. And then we have another Army base about 30 miles south of us. So we have a lot of relocation between the corporate business and the medical fields and the military. Obviously, we have people coming in and out all the time. We also have, a great geographical area in that our weather is nice, not too hot, not too cold. You can live here year round and be pretty happy, especially if you're from one of those states that has a lot of that white fluffy stuff all the time. You're going to be really happy in Savannah because we have that about once every 15, 20 years. And of course, we have the beach, and we have all these things that all these activities, and the river and River Street. There's so much to do. The just the historical side of downtown Savannah is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. And if you love history, you're going to absolutely love, visiting or living downtown. It's also got like a little trendy vibe going on because they've been doing the revitalization for years. We have Savannah College of Art and Design here. So they kind of started, and they have an architect and design degree, I guess. And so they have taken all these older buildings and restored them and made them amazing. So a big kudos to them because they've really done a great job, and I don't think they get enough credit. But anyway, as I said, we've never really been a seller's market. We've always kind of been a very stable. If it was priced right, it was obviously going to sell because we had enough buyers coming in town. But it was kind of a win-win for everybody. And this year has been way different. Like typically we would only ever get into a bidding war or highest and best in certain areas, like a downtown home started happening out there. Sometimes it would happen on the beach. Very rarely did it happen in the suburbs. It just really didn't happen very often. So now it seems like every house is selling, just like that, 24, 48 hours. And a lot of them have multiple offers on them. and they're using escalation clauses, and like there's just a lot of things that we haven't ever had to experience that we're now having to do. And our sellers are happy because, you know, they're putting their house on the market. It's selling right away. It's selling for over asking. They're not having to pay closing costs. You know, they're super happy. But the buyers, it's super challenging and almost heartbreaking for them sometimes because they'll lose a deal and then lose another deal, you know, and it's no fault of theirs or the agent that they're working with. It's just our market right now. So it's challenging. We've had to learn how to really craft an amazing offer the first time with as little stipulation in there as possible. So it's become super challenging. But like I said, it's great for sellers, and the builders are building like crazy. They're trying to keep up, you know, as far as, you know, making sure that there's housing available for buyers, you know, if they can't get a resale. So I mean, I think we've written or binded like 40 contracts this month so far, and what are we on the 22nd or something like that, 21st, 22nd. So it's been pretty crazy. So, but crazy good. I like it.
So here's the thing. So for the sellers and the investors, listen up. It's the same thing going on in South Florida also. Same thing most part of the country in Georgia. Right. So if someone has a investment property, they're probably keeping it for the rental and so on. They're thinking of selling. This is the time because the buyers, you know, they're getting the good interest rate. The rental market is high, so you know people are paying the high rent price. Time to buy now because hey, you want to lock that low interest rate for 30 years. Why not? And it's opening up the wide, you know, path for the sellers to sell their home, cash it out, you know. So definitely, if someone is thinking of selling right now, this is the time. Either they want to sell and buy a bigger home or whatever, you know. But thinking of selling, this is the time. So Teresa,
a lot of that.
Yeah. So let's talk about lifestyle. You know, basically like what kind of people you see moving there? Like, is that a retiree most, or the family people with kids, or mix of both?
You know, I think we have a mix of both. We have a group. You know, we have some areas that are more geared towards retirement. They have a lot of golf courses. You know, or they have, you know, like I'm thinking like the Landings has the water, they have clubs on site. It's like their own little world out there. And it used to be almost, I don't want to say exclusively, but it used to be majority second homes or retirees that live there. And now it's become a little bit more infiltrated, well, a lot more infiltrated with people who live there year round, and even, you know, families. But there are other areas that are very, very similar to that. We're also like right across the river from Hilton Head, which is like the best golfing and pickleball on the planet, apparently. I was told yesterday it was the pickleball capital of the world. I don't know that to be true. I don't play pickleball. But apparently that's something that retirees love to do, is play pickleball. But anyway, that's very close. So we have a lot of that. But we have a lot of military always in and out, and not always by their choice. That's why I got into rentals originally, was because I'd sold houses in, you know, 2006 and 2007. And when those folks got orders to leave, you know, they couldn't sell their houses because they were basically, you know, wouldn't have gotten out of them even, you know, break even. So we started, you know, renting them so that we didn't add to that whole foreclosure thing that was going on. And that worked out well. And now, you know, even I've had a couple of them even this year, like when their tenants moved out, we sold them because they made, you know, big money on them just because they had held on to them for so long, because the market did come back. And I mean, it always kind of will. It goes up and down, right? Yeah. But lots of people want to live here, just quality of life. You know, we've had a lot of people come down. We always have. I joke all the time that if everybody in Ohio that tells me they're moving to Savannah, Georgia does, there won't be anybody left, because it seems, and I don't market to Ohio, so I'm not sure how that happens, but they're always calling me and they always seem to be on Ohio. And I always think, y'all must have really bad weather today. But in any case, we have a lot of people that do move down here for the more. We don't have a lot of traffic. Our taxes aren't really high, and especially there are two counties that are even even more reasonable than Chatham County, which is Savannah. So we have a lot of people that move here for just quality of life. Just they want to be able to, if I want to go to the city and get everything that I pretty much need, I can go to Savannah. If I want to live in Richmond Hill or Pooler or Effingham County, that's not difficult either. And I can get more house for my money out there than I have, so we have and it's easy commute. We're right on 95 and 16 Crossroads. That's where it changes in Savannah. So you can come from Atlanta all the way down. Well, not Atlanta, Macon, but still 75, 16, whatever. Easy. And then 95 goes from one end of America to the other. So, yeah.
It's easy access. Yeah. Now let's talk about the pricing a little bit. So there's two things comes in my mind. One is say for a family, affordable housing for say under 2,000 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, maybe 1 or 2-car garage. What kind of pricing we looking at?
Well, and that depends on what area you're in. Like if you're downtown, it's going to be a whole different story. Yeah. Because that's a different world. If you're at the beach, that's going to be a whole different story because that price point is much higher in both of those places. If you're in Richmond Hill, you're looking at between 225 and 3, depending on what neighborhood you're in and that kind of thing. If you're in Pooler, you can get one around 200. Just depends, again, what neighborhood you're in. And if you're in Effingham, maybe a little bit less. And definitely in Hinesville, you could, where the Army base is, you can get things a little bit more reasonable. So it just depends. We talk about location. It's about location and what the market bears right there. So when we're talking to people, we want to know what's important to them. Like, where do you have an idea? Most people do kind of know where they want to live, or they know where they're going to work, and is the school system important to you, or the taxes important to you, and that kind of thing. But we still have a really good base, average sales price, I think, for average families that is very affordable and that they can actually live in. And right now with the interest rates where they're at, they can actually afford more. So, we've actually seen a lot of people moving up.
Okay, that's good to know. So you still have a lot of affordable pricing. So that's very, very good actually. So now for an investor, or maybe a second home, somebody want to buy. So how's the rental? Like, say, suppose somebody want to buy a home and rent it out. So 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, what are the rent prices?
Well, again, now we're talking about different areas. If you're downtown, it's going to be this. I pay $2,000 a month for basically a bedroom my daughter shared with 2 other people downtown. That's different, right? But I mean, in Richmond Hill, you're looking, depending on the neighborhood, you're looking at 16 to 22,000 maybe, 16 to 1,800 a month. If you're in Pooler, you're probably looking 12 to 16, 17, 8, again, depending on the neighborhood. So you just have to decide what's important to you. And you're right. Like we sold a lot of our rentals this year. Like a lot of the folks that I had in my property management wanted to sell. So we did do that. I even kind of bought a couple of them because I know that, I'm trying to have that in my retirement life that I don't have to worry about stuff. I'm an investor.
You got to. And that's what I encourage my sellers also. I reach out to them. I say, hey, look, by the time you retire, think about like you have 3, 4, or 5 properties, bringing you some mailbox check. So it's definitely a good idea, even being a homeowner, especially when interest rate is so low, maybe get a line of credit and get that home, the rental home for the kids or for retirement. So definitely.
It just has to be a good deal. Like, it just has to be the right deal because of the fact that the sales prices have gone up, so you don't want to buy something that's going to take you anyway. That's a whole nother topic, but it's like every deal is different. Every
Yeah.
discussion is different,
Yeah.
so it's about what's important to, our client and what their end game is. Like, what do you want to get out of this? And
Right.
so that's what we always have to find out. It's like, I'm not being nosy. I'm just trying to figure out what the best advice is to give you. So,
Yeah. No, that's why we always say that always, always be truthful to your doctor, lawyer, and the realtor.
that's right. Yeah, because we're all going to find out eventually, right?
Yeah.
It all comes out at some point.
Yes, all comes at some point. Yeah. Okay. Now I have another question for you. Just for example, like somebody moved to Fort Lauderdale, for example, So the reason a lot of people move to Fort Lauderdale because, say, suppose you want to go to Florida Keys, it's like hour and a half. Orlando, 3 hours. Naples, 1 hour. So it's kind of like a lot of accessibility, or for a family, they want to entertain the kids, and so
Mm-hmm.
when I move to Savannah, or maybe by a second home, what are the surrounding areas, or the attractions do you have over there?
Okay, so when you live here, there's a lot of stuff that goes on downtown. It's very historical, like I said, but there's River Street and there's all kind of festivals down there all the time. Lots of people go down there. And then, of course, we have, the beach. We have Tybee Island. So lots of people go there, and go there all the time, like every day, just about. Sometimes I feel like with the traffic out there. 30 minutes, you can be in Hilton Head. So there's tons of things to do in Hilton Head. Lots of golf courses, lots of tennis, just, beach, dolphin cruises, whatever you want to do. We have that all around us. You can be in Jekyll Island in about an hour. You can be in Jacksonville in an hour and 45 minutes. I know, because I do it. Atlanta, 3.5, 4 hours, depending on where you're going. Disney World, 4 hours. It's just, you can be in the mountains in 4 hours. Well, okay, 5 hours.
Okay.
Because you're going to go through Spartanburg, depending on where you're going.
Yeah.
But you can be in Asheville, North Carolina in less than 6. So it's easy to change your landscape. It's easy. Like, I want to be in the beach. Okay. Next weekend, I want to go to the mountains. Okay. Next weekend, I want to go to North Georgia and look for waterfalls. Okay. I want to go to Florida. Tampa's 5.5 hours from us. So it's like you can actually get places pretty easy. And our airport is international, so it does have a lot of flights that go in and out, and they keep adding airlines to it. So hopefully we'll get some of those ones that you can fly real cheap, real quick. Because we've had Delta and American forever. But anyway, we've just got, I think we've got a lot to offer. I actually live on a river, an inland waterway. And so my kids, they kayak, they boat, they jet ski, they kneeboard, they do all that stuff all the time. And our weather is such that, we've worn shorts on Christmas and we've been cold on Christmas, and the same thing on other holidays. I've seen people, one of my favorite stories is when my clients came from Buffalo, right above Buffalo, New York. And they had bought the cutest little outfits for their children to wear on Halloween. And so we pulled up in our golf cart to pick them up, and they have got like these fluffy, insulated, like burning hot costumes on. And I was like, it's like 78 degrees. Like, y'all are going to die. We're in shorts and flip flops. So anyway, we try to tell people, when they move here, we try to kind of let them know what our average temperatures are all the time. But, you can't prepare people for everything, but there's a lot to do here. There's festivals all the time. We have the third largest St. Patrick's Day festival in the United States.
Wow.
And we didn't have it last year because of COVID, which broke my heart. And they're not having it this year. Same thing, but it is huge and crazy. And it's not just a day. It goes on for about a week. So that's huge for our merchants, and also, people come from everywhere to do that. We have a huge trade center, So.
That's good to know. And it's 5 hours to the mountain is not bad.
Mm-mm.
It's definitely not bad. So let me ask you another thing. What do you think about the cost of livelihood, like compared to other cities in the country? What do you think the cost of livelihood in Savannah, Georgia?
Well, like I mean, we have the Tom Ferry system, ecosystem, and REMAX. I mean, a lot of my folks are REMAX too. And when you talk to them about what they pay for housing and, what their average income is and things like that in places like California or, the Northeast and stuff like that, I know that our homes are super reasonable, but our salaries are still good too. Like people coming from Atlanta, where you would think that the average medium salary up there is a little bit higher than here, like we caught up. Like Savannah has caught up for sure. And our housing market is still super reasonable.
Yeah.
So you can get you can actually probably afford a little bit more home here on the salaries that most people make here than you would maybe somewhere else. So of course, then you talk about Atlanta and you talk about they have different areas too, where some homes are very expensive, some homes are very reasonable. So it's all relative. But I think that for the most part that everyone here is paid well. And when you look at the salary charts and things like that of the area, you can tell that we're on par on par or above most of the country with what we pay.
That's good. That's good to know. Teresa, I have my last question, and the best question is housing. What after housing is the food. So let's talk about a little bit what kind of food, restaurants, in your area available.
Food that will clog your arteries. That's what we have. We have all those trendy restaurants that everybody else has now. The vegan restaurants and the gluten-free restaurants and all those things. But we also, we got Paula Deen, and that's my grandma cooking right there. That's like rice and gravy and butter beans and fried chicken. We got that. But lots of seafood, like not just there, but I mean, lots of seafood restaurants, and there's lots of cultural restaurants as well, because we have such a diversity that lives here. But we have a lot of seafood because we live on the coast. So, it's kind of like when I go to Atlanta, I don't eat seafood. I live in Savannah. So we have a lot of that, but we have all the major chains that everybody else has, but we have, again, a lot of, because of SCAD too, we have a lot of very unique upscale restaurants downtown that won't break your pocketbook. Like it's really good food and it's really nice food and presented well, but it's not, like if you were in another city and you would have to pay, 3 times as much as you pay here because our market doesn't bear that. I mean, they wouldn't, it's all about what people will pay. Right. So there's just a ton of stuff. Like River Street is nothing but tourist shops, bars, and restaurants. And then that whole area has just become that, like, just lots of restaurants, unique little bars, okay. So I did one of my video series on this, and this is like one of my favorite places on the planet. And they have one in Key West. So you should visit it. But it's called Better Than Sex. And it's a dessert bar. Like all they do is dessert and wine and beer. And it's very intimate. Like you don't take your kids there, but it's so upscale and nice, but they have the best, most decadent desserts you would ever put in your mouth. Wow. And super reasonable. Like you drink your wine, you eat your blueberry French toast or whatever they call that thing. And it is amazing. And it's a franchise now. So I don't know, I'm not going to buy one obviously, but I just happened upon it because everybody kept talking about it. And it's amazing. Like I've taken lots of people there. I took my Zillow rep there. Like, wow. I've taken tons of people there, and it's just really good. And it's quiet, so it's a good place to have conversation.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, that's good to know. So look, people looking for affordable housing, looking for good food, affordable price, and you have it all. And the
And a great place
culture,
to raise your kids.
yeah, and you have the, yeah, exactly, and you have the history, and
Mhm.
the culture is there. So all the accessibility, even like just 4 hours from Orlando Disney World. So again, the
Mhm.
setting is very good. So
Yep.
Teresa, thank you for all the information. I know we can probably go another hour with different subject, but we
We
are here
could.
over 35 minutes. I'm going to get you in another call probably with some more information.
Okay.
So again, thanks for joining in, and thanks for what you doing for the real estate, for the community. And so I really appreciate all the things you do, even for us, for our ecosystem. Your contribution is great. So thanks for joining in.
Yep. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
y'all.
Take care. Okay.